Hi guys, we're gonna wait a few more minutes. We'll get started at about 2 or 3 minutes after the hour. Wait for everybody to show up. All right, we got 2 minutes after the hour. We'll go ahead and get started. So, hi, and good morning, good afternoon. Welcome to Free Training Friday, where our support team at Cireson are sharing some learning to try to help you get more out of the products and services that we offer. My name is Justin Workman. I'm a senior support engineer, and today we've got Steve Wright. He's our global support manager, and he's going to be doing a demo about customizing the homepage in the Cireson portal for Service Manager.
Great. Hello, everybody.
I'll go to my next slide here. Don't want to take up a bunch of time with all the slides, but I do want to hit a couple points. If you have any questions while Steve's doing the demo, feel free to post them in the chat or email us directly. Both our emails are here, and or in the community, our community site. Lots of good discussions going on there. We encourage anybody to jump in there and ask questions and participate in the threads. And I think, Steve, are we ready for the demo?
Yep, I'm ready when you are. You can go. Next slide is the demo slide.
All right.
We keep a very simple slide deck here.
Indeed.
Do you want to make me presenter?
I'm making you the presenter now.
Okay.
Yes, I'm sure.
And just show my screen, and let me see if it comes up here. Okay, looks like it's come up here. So hi, everybody. As Justin said, I'm the Global Support Manager at Cireson, and wanted to share this very useful tip. Actually, I don't take the credit for it. I'll start off on the bat by giving kudos to one of our consultants in the EMEA region, Jeff Ross, who, after discussing this particular issue that came up both on the community page and in a customer ticket, thought it would be very helpful to share the learning from it. So it's a great example of using best practices. It's a very extensible way to modify the homepage. It's pretty easy, and it's definitely very manageable. So what we've been looking at is a customization that uses JavaScript. And essentially, the request was, how do I get the my request offerings, my top requests, favorite requests to show before the featured articles, the KB articles. So in this example, we'll be using JavaScript. There are many ways to customize the homepage involving view panels and actually building pages from scratch as well. But this is a pretty straightforward method by manipulating what shows up on the page using JavaScript. So the question is, how do we get the request offerings above the articles here? So the first thing is we need to find out what the elements are that we need to change. And we can do that pretty quickly just by bringing up the developer tools and using the elements tab. And actually there's a button there that tells you to select an element. And in this way, we can kind of see what is showing up in each area of the page. So this gives us pretty close to what we want to do. This is one column. You see it highlighted below. And then this is the other column. And these two columns belong to the SC page header, SC home, KB lists row. And if I compress that slightly, we can see that we've got both a KB list row and a RO list row, which represents the two areas that we want to work with. Both of these areas are also part of the div class SC home. So if you imagine the SC home is the container for these two rows that we want to manipulate. We can see this as well easily in the console by just adding a bit of code here. I've written it already, but this will give us the element that we want to define. And just a quick way of finding out what we've got here, just confirming we've got the list row. It comes back with an element length 1, so we know we're in good shape. So now we've found what we want to change. Essentially, what we're looking to do is append the KB rows to the SC home class so that it shows up underneath the request offerings. And I got a bit of code here that does that. It's pretty simple. It's essentially an append to command. And then what we're doing is we're appending the home KB list, which is at the top, to the SC home class, which means it will present it underneath the request offering section. So if I literally press enter on here, we can see that the elements have switched places. So essentially, that's what we want to do. We want to sort of run this code that allows us to switch the order of what we see on the home page. So that's sort of the first two parts: is identifying what we want to change, finding the JavaScript code we need to run to make that change, and then just testing it within the browser real quick and simple from the console in the DevTools. So then moving on from there, what we want to do then is actually get this into our custom space. All customizations should live in custom space because that's the best way to protect your customizations with updates. The custom space folder is copied when a update is done on the portal to protect it, and then it is copied back after the install. So essentially everything else in a upgrade from the portal will change except what's in custom space. So best practice there is under the inetpub Cireson portal custom space is to create a folder naming your customization. In this case, we've only got one element, we've only got one JavaScript piece of code in there, but there may be times when your customization requires multiple files. So it's always cleaner and nicer to have it listed by by a folder with its name. And then, as you can see in there, we have one file, and this is the file that we're going to use to run this command, the SC home KB list append to. And if I open it, I've got it open here already in my Notepad++. What we've done is we've wrapped this around a feature or function called mutation observer. And what that does in Java is it will look for an element on the page, confirm if it exists, and then allow you to run the command based on the presence of that element. This is very handy for us because sometimes the page is loaded in certain ways that may mean that your code will run before the element is present. And this wrapping it around the mutation observer will just ensure that you actually have the element there to manipulate with your code. So very simple as one line for what to check. And if I highlight it here, this is the line that we're using to run, which we just ran in the console window. So that sits in the reorder homepage, and that's good to go. And then from there, we will look at our custom space folder, our custom.js file. And rather than, again, this is another best practice concept, is that rather than having the custom space just be the repository for every customization and have them sitting there without any real control or manageability of them, what we've done here is created a script loader. And what we're doing here is creating a function that allows us to pass in the location of the path location of the customization we want to run, and also allow us to select the URL it's going to run against. And as you can see in my example, we were using the standard homepage, which is the service catalog /listing homepage. And in this code, what we've done is the one line that loads the script is passing in the location of the homepage JavaScript file, the reorder homepage JavaScript file, and also it is selecting the service catalog listing URL, which is a nice feature because it just ensures that your script will only load against from that location for that URL. Right now I have it remmed out with the arrows. I can activate it here. Another feature while I'm on this page is that this code also adds a little bit of logging on here, which allows you to see, it can post into the console log what's been loaded. So in this line here, it's going to add to the log the term loaded and the path that it's loading from. So it's a useful troubleshooting tool. If you've got multiple customizations that are running on a page, having this feature will at least let you see what's been loaded on the page through the console. So with the custom.js modified to use the script loader, and with the one line of code to run the customization in place, I'm going to save these two elements and then go back to my page here. And although I ran this from that console command, if I refresh the page, we can see that the page refreshed. It loaded the log line telling me what was loaded, and it effectively made the change. So, I mean, that's literally as quick as it can be. Again, just to kind of show that it's not stuck anywhere, I'm going into the file again. I'm logged in as administrator. I can save this to run it out. And then if I refresh this, it will be back to without the customizations. So it's a good, I mean, part of this demo is really one to show the request that was to change the homepage. But in sort of getting the presentation together, it became very apparent that there are some best practices around how you customize, and using things like a mutation observer to make sure your elements are present before changing them, and also having a best practice around how to manage your customizations with a script loader, isolating customizations by folders, and then having them launch in a way that you can manage them individually and see what's going on from the console log is definitely very, very handy. So I mean, that's the presentation in a nutshell. I kind of whistled through it pretty quickly. What I
I
have done
think
is, go ahead.
I think you did fine. I think you showed the reordering. It looks good. It's very impressive. Shout to Jeff again.
Yep.
Very
Yeah.
good stuff.
Yeah, definitely. And what we've done as well, I've this all of these steps are I've put together into a discussion thread for the community, which I'll post right after this presentation, just so that we can expand on some ideas. I'm sure people are thinking of what else could the rows is pretty straightforward, understandable, but there's also other uses for this as well. I know John had mentioned actually bringing in some of your own div classes as well. So it may go further than just manipulating what's being loaded on the page into bringing in some of your own custom HTML. So definitely a very useful tool, and a good way to kind of manage your custom space folder and your customizations within that space. So with that said, if there are questions, we can kind of ping some on the list. If not, I'm going to hand this back over to Justin, and we can wrap up early, and I'll get some stuff on the community space.
Yep. Here we go. All right, so thanks for everybody attending today. We hope this was useful. I certainly think it was. I think that's a fairly common request, reordering the homepage and just customization in general. So once again, thanks to Jeff and thanks to Steve for showing us that. And also, reach out to us on the community if you have any questions about any customizations, any uses of the product, any features. And we also do offer in-depth training from our services arm. So if you're interested in that, definitely hit us at team@cireson.com. We'd be happy to trial any of our solutions, and like I said, give deeper training. So once again, thanks for your time and enjoy the rest of your Friday and have a good weekend.
Great. Oh, one more thing, just check out the where you signed up for the class. We'll have more of our topics listed there, so definitely check in on the list of upcoming events for FTF Fridays.
Yep, indeed.
Great.
Thanks, Steve.
Thanks. Okay, thanks everyone.